Live, right here in Southern California in Santa Clarita on KHTS, AM 1220. Welcome back. We got so much applause last week. We've got our highest viewing. We're live on Facebook. I'm trying to get on Facebook right now. We're live on Facebook. But it's amazing, Brien Johnson, one of the owners, one of the original founders of AskBrien.com. Before we get into our great show today, we're going to talk about the emotion business. Should there be emotion? We're going to talk about startups, right?
Definitely.
I think the American dream, Brien Johnson, is not owning a house. I really believe it's financial independence. And financial independence, I think, comes from owning your own business. What's your take on that?
Well, I very rarely like to agree with you, so obviously I'll have to take the opposite position. The reality is that, yes, people do want to have their own business. That might be part of the American dream, but people realize with our tax code and the way the system is built that it's much easier to make the American dream by owning real estate. Real estate prices are constantly going up, whereas how many of the startups are actually succeeding? You may see out there, oh my God, Facebook, oh my God, Snapchat. Well, those are the rare exceptions. The reality is it's extremely difficult to have a business, to start it up from nothing and get something big. But somebody, doesn't matter their education level, doesn't matter anything. They're making $30,000, $40,000 a year, which is nothing nowadays. You combine that income, they got an automatic payment for their house, and boom, in 5 years, that house went from $200,000 to $400,000. They made $200,000. Startups, they're going under, most of them. I hate to say it.
Well, when you look at the American dream today, first of all, I think it's live and well, and we do this show called Ask Brien. I'm going to go live here myself. Am I live yet? I don't know.
Describe. I don't know. Did the camera crack yet?
Oh, no, I haven't gone.
If the camera cracked, then we know we're live.
Oh, I'm going live right now. I'm going live right now. Brien Johnson of Ask Brien, BRIEN, AskBrien.com. Yeah, I think I'm live right now. How's the look? My wife says to shoot up like that. Anyway, is there emotion in business? Yes or no? AskBrien.com. Is there emotion? I'm putting the camera up this way
well,
so
that
you
is
don't see my neck.
Okay.
Is there emotion in business? Yes or no?
The fact of the matter is there is emotion, but there shouldn't be. And the reality is that you're a better business person if you take the emotion out of the equation, okay? If you're going to be emotional, you're going to be doing things based on emotions. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. Emotions is a very, very important part of life. Being sensitive, being real, being empathetic with others, that is a very, very important point. I don't want to say anything negative about that. What I'm telling you, though, is business is business. And when you're making a business decision, most of the times you have to put the emotions on the side to make a real good business decision. And that's what our goal is here. Our goal here is to make people succeed. And if you're going to succeed, you have to kind of put the emotions on the side.
Okay, I'm live. I haven't said a word yet, but I'm live. I kind of agree. I kind of disagree. We got the fabulous Lindsay McCoy here. Let me show you everybody here in the station.
Hello.
We're live right here. There's Aaron producing the show. Hi, Aaron. I don't know where Aaron is. Look,
right
ladies and gentlemen, we're live. If you want to chime in, I think I'm doing this right. I don't know. Every week I'm like challenged. Am I doing this live? My headset just...
I would have to agree with Brien. I think that when you have emotion in business, you're not making rational decisions, and business should be based on logical decisions. The more logical decisions, the less emotional that you are, and I think that's important for me.
Yeah. All right. Time out. You're listening to Ask Brien, BRIEN.com. Time out here. It's 2 against 1. That's fine. I can handle myself here on KHTS AM 1220. Look, you've got to have some emotion. How do people know if you care? If you just drone on and you don't have real feelings? I think.
Hold on. Caring and emotion is a different issue.
No, but you have to show emotion.
You don't want the
called
cashier
empathy.
crying.
Oh, okay. You want me to tell that story?
Go ahead.
Okay. And then I want to hear, Lindsay, don't leave because we've got an unbelievable story about Facebook.
She's totally involved. She's going to be doing most of the show today.
No, I know she is.
We've already had a conversation
and she
about
should
that.
be doing all the show. You and I shouldn't even be on the radio.
Well, we need to be behind her because of her good looks.
Okay, so I'm standing in line, and this new young lady's getting trained. I won't tell you the name of the business. And the owner comes out, and he starts yelling at her. You're not doing this right. Right in front of the customer. I'm watching all this, and I'm going, are you kidding me? I'm saying to myself, to this young lady, you ought to just spit in this guy's eye and quit and walk out, you know. And I'm just thinking, how can you work for somebody like this? So all I'm saying is it goes the other way too. How about an employer that sits down with you, shows emotion, cries with you, listens to your... There's got to be emotion so that you know...
We're talking about making a business decision. We're not talking about being emotional, having a connection with your workers and employees. That you should have. You need to have a connection. That's part of relationship building. What we're talking about is making a business decision based on emotions. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to make a business decision solely based on emotions.
I think you should make a business decision based on research your competition.
That's logic.
Well, time out a second, Brien Johnson and the fabulous Lindsay. Smart, intuitive, clever, sneaky.
Ooh.
Lindsay McCoy. So your business decision is made up of probably 9 different things. One of them is doing your research.
Well, hold on. You're making a determination of these 9 things.
Yeah, because I'm probably
is there
the
a code?
smartest
Is there a
one in
book
the
out
room.
there that says
I'm older
these are the
than
9
you. I
decisions?
am old enough to be your father. That's why
You're old enough to be my great-grandfather.
Oh my God! The show is called Ask Brien. It's kind of fun. BRIEN every Thursday at 2:00, and also we get the most views live on Facebook of any show on radio. I don't know why people are interested in us. Probably
because we have
we're-
the beautiful Lindsay McCoy.
Thank you very much.
should be in movies. We should be on radio. She should be in movies. All right. So you got somebody on the telephone from Facebook. That is a major accomplishment.
Yeah,
Major.
it is a major accomplishment. I had to wait practically 2 hours to get a hold of someone. I nearly fell asleep in my chair.
I think she did.
But time out.
As Brien
But time
walked
out.
in
What-
and thought I was just,
Snoozing.
snoozing. Exactly.
But time out. Was there emotion on your part? I mean, there's no way I'm hanging on the phone for 2 hours.
You know what? There was no emotion on my part because it's almost like the norm now. It's almost like I was surprised that they even had a telephone number to call because you can't every day every time you want to go to customer service you have to send an email or you have to go through their online system and you don't even speak to somebody. So I think it was shocking to me that I got through. But then when you get through, it seems like, these customer service people are sourced, from outside of the country, and you ask them about you have questions for them, and they don't, it's like they don't, more than they do. Sometimes you feel like, why am I, sitting here troubleshooting this, wasting more of my time with you?
I thought we are going to make America great again.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So, this goes back to the opening of is there emotion. So how would I handle that call? I would probably take the real high road. Sorry to bother you. I know my question I sound like an idiot, rather than you getting on the phone and calling me an idiot. So I'm sure you handled it very professionally.
That's a great analogy to
I'm a humble guy, Lindsay. I'm a humble guy.
Now listen, he could have
Full of
handled
humility.
he could have handled the conversation with me, and he could have, because I have attitude sometimes, and I don't like to do that because that's not fair. And these people are really trying to do their job and keep a happy face, even though you might be a ticked off customer, and you're like, hey, get me the manager right now. But I think it helps when you can hold back your emotion, because that's the only way to keep a decent conversation going and not getting people overheated and
I'm
worked
so
up.
interested. I got like a million questions. Was he in the country? Did he sound like he cared? Did he have emotion? Thanks for calling Facebook. Sorry to keep you waiting for 2 hours. How did he respond to your issues?
He responded very well. Of course, he's from Facebook, so he has to represent the company very well. And if they don't have a good, optimistic persona, they probably wouldn't be working for Facebook. That's their MO.
And how do you know he wasn't a computer? A lot of computers. No, you laugh. No, a lot of computers. Brien Johnson knows this of AskBrien.com.
Well, so does Lindsay.
I sure do. As a matter
She got
of
a
fact,
call from a robot.
I just signed up from an online website. You can sign up and you can get all these bank-owned properties, short sale properties all over the country, and it's this company sourced in New York, and it's all automated. So I signed up. Next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call from New York, and the voicemail comes on, and I'm like, okay, this is from the company, and I'm just gonna call them later. I don't want to talk. I don't have anything to talk to them about right now. But then they kept calling back.
Do you think you'd ever, be honest with our listeners, do you think you'd ever date a robot?
Oh no, absolutely not.
Really? I know Brien would.
I think that's the end.
Don't you think Brien would date a robot?
That's the end of civilization.
Whoa.
I think you would date a
family
robot.
show.
The show's called Ask Brien, Brien. Having a little fun today. We're coming up here.
Let's go back, okay? Because
Can I pitch the second segment about starting a business with Bob?
Yeah, hold on. Yes, we can go into that, but the reality is that's an incident that Lindsay had with Facebook, and most of our listeners are small business owners, and yes, on a consumer level, they're having those problems. But we're here to help business owners, so let's focus a little bit more on how we can help business owners. I mean, and there's a lot of vital information, and that's fine. But how can we apply that now to a small business owner? And how that's going to apply is you may own a laundromat or a laundry store, and somebody may come into that store, and they come there and they go, you know what? Hey, you shrunk my clothes, and there might be an argument over that, right? And then that's not going to last 2 hours, I don't think. Police would come by then, and you're going to have that conversation with that person, and that's when things can get emotional. So you've got to really. Do you know how to use that machine?
No, I'm learning.
I don't think people that don't know how to use it should work it. Anyway, the reality is you have customer service issues on a daily basis. That's what our listeners do. That's what we're here to help them out with. So when you own that laundry machine business or the dry cleaner, and somebody comes into that store and they're emotional. They're saying, you shrunk my $10,000 XYZ, and they're probably using a couple of words that I'm not allowed to use on the radio, okay? Then you've got to deal with that situation. That person's emotional. If you're emotional back, what's going to happen? You're going to get in a tug of war, yelling at each other and having a fight. That's not going to solve the problem. That's what I'm talking about when I sit here and I say, and Lindsay agrees, when you can't be emotional about business decisions. That's what we're referring to. And that's an application of how you have to calm the person down, say, how can I help you? What's wrong? Try to find out what the real problem is. What does that person want? Is it that she wants to get her $10,000 back for that shrunken problem? Excuse me? All right, that may be an issue, but that's probably not reality. A small business owner is not going to write a check for $10,000, and they probably don't have insurance to cover it. They might, but that's not the issue. The issue is, how can we solve the problem? That's what AskBrien is for, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve a problem. And so we're trying to help out that laundry person owner say, well, what else can I do? Try to ask enough intuitive questions to get the information out and try to get it down so that the person isn't screaming on a level conversation. It's always easier when people have a level conversation and the emotion is out of the equation to get a resolution.
All right, I'm getting a lot of texts and feedback here. Some people are agreeing with me. Some people are agreeing with you and Lindsay.
How much money are you paying for that?
No, I'm not paying anything. But so let's take the laundromat, because that's actually happened to me and my grandsons in the United States.
Is that why your shirt doesn't fit?
No, it doesn't fit because I'm 5 pounds overweight. All right, 10 pounds overweight. So my grandson's in the United States Marine. He takes his Marine uniforms into the dry cleaners, and they mess up. I was going to say screw up, but they mess up.
This is a family show.
It is a family show. So make a long story short, how the guy on the other side of the counter reacts, just what you said, I believe he has to show caring emotion. I believe that the owner of the laundromat has to say, oh, Coach, we made a boo-boo. Is there any way? And he's got to be sincere, and he's got to use his voice. I mean, so, look, you're a very successful attorney. You're a big-time attorney in L.A., and Lindsay McCoy's a big-time realtor. I'm just a little schmo. I'm a guy here trying to make a living, and I believe just treating people right, using your emotion, using your voice, caring about what you say, and letting the other person feel me is part of what I do.
Okay, You're missing the
Why
point.
do you think people
You're missing
like
the,
me so
You're missing
much?
the point. I did not say you. I always tell people you have to empathize, and that's what I was saying earlier. You have to empathize. Empathy does not. You're saying that empathy equates with emotion. You can empathize with a person.
Absolutely.
No, it does not.
Oh, my
no, it
God.
does not. Look up emotions.
Turn his
That's the
microphone
problem.
off, Aaron. This guy.
This guy doesn't
did
know
you
what an
have for
emotion
lunch?
is.
So you're telling me that you can. So you're saying
so I'm
there's
gonna
no
cry
emotion
and you're
in
going to give me my money
empathy?
back? So I'll cry and you give me my $10,000 back? Come on, you'll be out of business.
You're honored. Time out. Well, let's pretend we're in a courtroom.
Don't, because I'll kick your.
Yeah, all right. You're right. It's a family show. All I'm saying, look, we got Aaron laughing. He was napping before the show started. Our producer was napping. I had to wake him up. Carl's not listening to the show. Don't worry.
Thank God.
Jerry might be listening to the show, but Carl's not. And
She's probably coming down the
Jerry
hallway
would
right
ask
now.
me to say we have this great radio app. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. Best radio app in the country. Go to your app store, put in KHTS 1220 AM. I'm not kidding you. You can listen to all the great shows that we have here in Southern California on KHTS AM 1220. So back to what I was saying, you're saying that when I show empathy, you don't want me to have emotion in my voice or how I express
I don't
myself?
want emotions to be your decision maker. That's what I'm saying. Emotions and decision making are two separate issues.
Okay, time out,
You can make a
Your
decision
Honor.
without crying, without screaming, without raising your voice. You can keep everything at a rational level and make a decision.
I got to take a deep breath here. Maybe should we
two.
go to commercial here while I'm taking a deep breath? Let's go to commercial. We'll come back. We've got a great afternoon here on KHTS AM 1220. Great afternoon. We've got and you and I interviewed him the other day, Bob Fitz.
An
And-
amazing person. Amazing person.
Well, I liked his voice, but I know he's smart. What's the name of his outfit? Do you know?
So he's basically puts on a startup conference. He's got a number of titles from chief operating officer. He used to work with Goldman Sachs. He's a real, you want to have an intelligent person that's on par. This guy really knows it all.
I tease you a lot, but I got to say this, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to AskBrien.com and you
Is that
have
BRIEN?
BRIEN, yeah.
Thank you.
If you have I'll use this word, intimate question. It's like if you own a business, who are you going to go to get an intimate answer? Like, how do I fire this person? How do I hire this person? How do I give a person a raise? How much should I give them a raise? Would you ask legal questions for free on AskBrien.com?
We only answer business questions, but as an attorney, certainly there's a tinge of that.
A tinge. So
We're not allowed to provide legal advice unless you're a lawyer.
A tinge. Now, we have listeners all over the world. We had listeners in Australia going on the site, and
28% of the people that are downloading our app are from China.
that's crazy. China is very pro business. So anyway, if you have a question, you're not going to go to your wife. You're not going to go to your best buddies because maybe you're a little embarrassed about the question. But nothing embarrasses you, Brien Johnson.
Very little.
AskBrien.com. That's the show. Trying to have some fun today here in Southern California. Thousands and thousands of people love KHTS AM 1220. Hope you do too. We'll be right back, and we're going to continue the conversation and get into start-up businesses. So if you're going to open up a lemonade stand, tune in for the next segment. We'll be right back.